afternoon, Coach. Before we take questions, if you could please give us your general thoughts on the game.
Sure. Today, our guys arrived at the park ready to take an advantage of an opportunity that they created by winning yesterday. I really feel like our guys just like playing. I mean, we played 56 regular season games. And again, they came out and took advantage of the opportunity with the leadership of Blade Tidwell. And also, I know Evan Russell just got done talking to you because he was bragging that there's no way I can beat his interview, which I didn't know was a contest. But also for Coach Bohannon's sake in Alabama, I hope they did what they needed to make a regional. It'd be good for our conference. And if you look at the way their lineup plays and who's out there defensively, it's a regional team. It'd be good for our conference if that happens. Not my decision, but that's the way it looked to me. And so I was proud of our guys to be able to beat them today.
Okay, our first question comes from Ryan from VolQuest.
It seems like it's really tough in these double elimination tournaments if you lose your first game to make a deep run. Just how important is being able to get the run rule and save a few innings from your bullpen with the long-term ability to make it to Sunday and potentially win this tournament?
Yeah, that was kind of my point bringing up Alabama. The thing is a grind. And, it's your catcher, your guys are out there in the heat. Schedules fluctuate. You got pregame. It's a grind. So when you look at the last 2 days, maybe the biggest takeaway, obviously you like to win the ball game, but maybe the biggest takeaway is you do now have a bunch of fresh arms going into tomorrow, and then also a little more fresh legs underneath our position players.
Okay, our next question comes from Trey Wallace.
Hey, Tony, you guys have outscored your opponents 23-2 in the past 2 games, 6 homers. And then when you look at the pitching, you only give up 5 runs through 3 games in Hoover. How do you just summarize what they've done on the mound and then what they also saw today, not chasing a lot of pitches, just seeing what they liked and putting a bat to it?
Yeah, I mean, my opening statements are never very great, but what I should have alluded to is kind of what you are is we did barrel some balls the first day, and I thought we showed up ready to play well. Heflin threw the ball great. We didn't get the result we wanted, but I think our guys are starting to get a little more cozy in this environment, and what you're seeing is a little better play defensively. On the mound, guys seem to be in a bit of a groove, and then offensively, all the quality traits you brought up. I think our guys have, again, just benefited from realizing this is a pretty awesome environment. Hoover does an incredible job, but at the end of the day, when you're between the white lines or in the batter's box or on the mound, it's just baseball, and this is a talented group, so these guys are doing well.
Okay, our next question comes from Troy with the Daily Times.
Tony, the story of the last 2 games has obviously been the offense, but specifically, how important has it been to get Drew and Evan kind of looking back to the form that they were in a month ago?
It's important. They're right in the meat of the order, and you never know. We could, position guys differently. We've done it before during the year, but I think there's a comfort zone right now for some guys in the spot they're in, and the important thing is not to overthink situations or where they're at in the lineup, and just go ahead and go out there and play ball or be true to who they are, and they'll be just fine. And, I mean, everyone knows Drew's as intense as it gets, and so when he goes outside of himself because of that, he doesn't do quite as well. But what you've seen in the tournament is him gathering himself a few times and really being an under-control athlete. And it's a pretty good weapon when he is just that. And then Evan, you saw how far he can drive the ball today. And he's got a pretty good number of extra base hits and home runs. But a lot of that comes from facing SEC arms that, the old Little League phrase, let them provide the power. And today was a special sweet swing. I mean, wasn't a bad pitch. And, just kind of dropped his hands on it. And because he is a strong dude, as much as I hate to admit that, the ball carried for him. So the proper amount of effort level is key to both of those guys. And for them to find that in the postseason or in the conference tournament when there is a heightened sense of intensity and all that other good stuff, it's impressive and it's incredibly crucial for our group.
you mentioned the idea to maybe, or even the possibility of making a change in the lineup. Are Luke and Jordan guys that you kind of look at that maybe could move up in the order with the way they swung the bat in recent weeks? And is that a testament to how deep this lineup is?
Well, yeah, I think you know the lineups in our conference. I said it in the in-game interview. You typically don't get any breathing room because of the nature of the league and the recruiting and things like that. And we have the benefit of having one of those groups where, you know, what I was getting more at is you could flip the thing upside down or you could slide a guy anywhere and he wouldn't be out of place. So I really feel like after Liam leads the game off, it's just it's 9 guys that compete for each other. They certainly compete each pitch is what it appears to be like to me. And then, again, blessed that we've got a lot of talent mixed in there too. So that's it.
Okay, next is Wes Rucker.
Hey, Tony, I guess specifically with Luke, I think it may have been a week or two ago when you said that he may lead the team in kind of hard hit contact percentage. And, you know, it kind of has looked like all year, just the numbers have not matched what it's looked like when you've watched him play. Has it just been that hard a luck season for him? And did you just kind of have faith that at some point it would start turning?
Yeah, I mean, he's an easy kid to have faith in. He's got really good hand-eye, and he's always been a strong kid, but now he's ultra strong. I think there was a lady standing out there in the forest or whatever we got going out there where he hit that ball. That thing was pretty impressive. So obviously the juice is there, but he was a guy too that was over swinging earlier in the year, and now he's not. So again, he makes it easy to stand by him because he either hits the thing hard or he battles with 2 strikes. And you know, on base percentage, I think reflects as much as who he is as that hard contact stuff does. But you're talking about a guy that's got a lot of attributes he brings to the table, including experience. So it's a key part of the lineup for us.
And going into the weekend, I guess you've kind of fired those 3 starter bullets the past 3 days. I guess to the extent that you know it to this point or want to say it, what is the plan this weekend? And how excited are you to see kind of some guys in some high leverage situations who maybe haven't had as many this year?
Really excited. I mean, you guys have seen how if you followed our team, how we've used guys on Tuesdays and then in other situations too. And I said it to the group yesterday, kind of been foaming at the mouth to at least have the opportunity to do that. So hopefully I don't screw it up. But we've got some guys that are fresh, some guys that have experience, you know, that'll be ready to go. And we'll just kind of sit down at the hotel as a coaching staff and start with whatever we think the first option is and look at it. And the first option would be to send Blade Tidwell back out there. So if he says no, then we'll go to option 2.
Okay, Ben McGee from VolQuest.
Tony, I've got 2 for you. Just with Blade, just what was he doing so well today, and what have you kind of seen from him over the last couple of weeks as he's really turned it up a notch?
Yeah, one and the same, if it's okay for me to say, because physically he came in a gifted kid and really unique for his age, how professional he is in his routines. But getting with Frank and Coach Q, our strength coach, those things blossomed even more. But then what happened as the season started was learning to manage situations and call it emotions or adversity and things like that. And there was a slow building up process to getting better and better till conference started. And then he gutted through a great win at Georgia. And then after that, you know, people start to adjust to you in the league. Different situations come up. Lineups are loaded. And he needed to kind of grow or evolve based off of what's in our conference and therefore what's the best out there in the country. And today I think you saw all those things that, again, leading up to the season he's got going for him. But now a little bit more mature of approach, very consistent approach, kept his emotions under control. Delivery was smooth the whole game. So I think he's growing up in front of all the Vol fans' eyes, and I think they're enjoying watching him. I mean, today was pretty dang good. I think, you know, it was reminiscent, to be honest with you, ironically, of A.J. Puck. We were in that dugout a few years back, my old job, and Puck had one of those performances where you feel like you're fighting up against a major leaguer, and it was pretty special to watch Blade in that form today.
And you all have hit 6 home runs by 6 different guys the last 2 days. Can you put your thumb on maybe why, or is it just kind of how baseball goes sometimes?
No, I think going back to my answer of them getting comfortable in their environment, I mean, they're fully capable of doing so. It is interesting because this park, at times can play, big on you. But to my knowledge, it's kind of played true during our games. And our guys have the ability to do that. So if they're getting a pitch and they're putting the swing on it, then, I think good things are going to continue to happen for us, whether it's over the wall or some other place. Again, I think what they did yesterday against those arms was crazy good. And then Alabama, having to grind their way through this thing. And, of course, like our team, missing a couple pitchers due to injury, did what they had to do today. And those guys were fine, but our guys capitalized on some pitches. And when they do that, it's a strong group. And again, they got some talent.
Okay, our last question comes from Ryan with WalkWest.
I have 2 questions for you. First, with the 11-run lead, was there any thought in saving Kirby for tomorrow? And then secondly, with the way Blade, Camden, Redmond, Heflin are pitching, it seems like all those guys are kind of starting their pitch their best right now. Just what's the confidence level in y'all's pitching staff going in the rest of the weekend and then into the regional next week?
I think on the latter, it all is under the umbrella of we kind of like where our club is at right now. I mean, it started to sound repetitive, but we kept talking about building towards May, March towards May. And in May, we've played our best baseball. So that's defensively, offensively, and what you're talking about pitching-wise. Maybe they're all happy they're not in school anymore. Sorry to say that, Megan, but they're kind of building some steam and playing their best ball as a group. So one thing affects the other. I mean, if your defense is playing better, it makes it easier on the pitching staff. If we're swinging the bats the way we're capable of, makes it easier, and then vice versa too. In Frank we trust with those pitchers, but some good arms there, and they're coming along quite well for us.
Okay, Coach, thank you for your time.
Yeah, and sorry to skip out on if I'm still on. The Kirby thing, I think he's better suited getting out there and getting some reps, and it worked out with Blade as well. So we enjoyed seeing the mustache out there for today. But thank you all.